Hey guys, my name is Zeta Flare, as you probably already know, and today I want to talk about something a bit different. As you can probably tell from the footage, we're going to be talking about Kingdom Hearts today, and just random topics that I already have in notes. But anyway, first topic, Kingdom Hearts games that I've already played. So I've played Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, Kingdom Hearts Recoded, Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2, and I think that's about it. Well, I finished KH1, I know that for sure. But I think KH1 and Dream Drop Distance are the only two games that I actually finished. Everything else I either didn't play at all or Recoded I did finish as well. But yeah, I think that's 3 games that I finished. Everything else I either played and didn't finish or didn't play at all. But anyway, yeah, those are the games I played. I started with Dream Drop Distance late into my childhood, and that was my introductory into the series, and I just kind of went from there. I think Dream Drop Distance is still a very good game. People rage on it because of the drop gauge system, but no, it's actually a pretty nice game. So it's Recoded. Narrative is absolutely horrible, but I think Recoded is a good game in terms of gameplay, and funnily enough, Days is actually the opposite. It's a game with kind of mediocre gameplay, but a very, very good narrative, so that's pretty nice. And then KH1, that actually segues me into, Jesus Christ, that actually segues into my next section, my Kingdom Hearts 1 experiences. I've actually been playing Kingdom Hearts 1 for the past few weeks, I think like a few months at this point. I don't remember when I first got the game. Well, I say got, but I emulated it, but I don't remember when I first started the game, but it's pretty good. It's your standard Kingdom Hearts game. Doesn't have everything that the series is known for, like it doesn't have the stuff that Kingdom Hearts 2 started to introduce, but it's still a great game, and I think it holds up pretty well, except for its sense of navigation, which is horrible. I don't like the game's navigation at all, especially in the more confusing worlds like Wonderland or Deep Jungle or Atlantica. Those 3 worlds are the absolute bottom of the barrel, worst worlds in the entire game. But besides that, I think it's in general a good game. Good boss fights, good story, good combat. So I'm saying about 8 out of 10. I think that navigation kind of just drags it down a lot. But otherwise, you even have exploration in the game, because the game is way more open than most other Kingdom Hearts games, so that's also pretty nice. But yeah, pretty solid game, 8 out of 10. So next, I want to talk about the HUD and UI. I want to talk about the HUD and the UI of the game of the Kingdom Hearts games, and man, they really don't mess with any of the HUD and UI. I think as a graphic designer, well, kind of, I think the HUD and UI is probably my favorite part of like every Kingdom Hearts game, because it just always looks good no matter which game you're looking at. It doesn't matter if you're looking at Kingdom Hearts 1 or Kingdom Hearts 3 or Kingdom Hearts 2 or Birth by Sleep or anything like that. The HUD is always going to remain consistently clean and immaculate, and that's what I really appreciate about these Kingdom Hearts games, because, well, most times HUD does get effort put into them, but I feel like Kingdom Hearts HUD has this really great uniqueness to it, something that's never really seen before. Even as something as an HP bar, kind of starting off as a circle, but eventually going on its own to like a horizontal line, kind of. It just really feels satisfying, because every time you get an HP upgrade, it just goes longer and longer and longer, and that's of course the gist of it. It's a JRPG, of course you're gonna feel progression, but just the HUD chef's kiss. Same with the artwork. Artwork is absolutely beautiful. Tetsuya Nomura always cooks on that artwork. And the gameplay kind of varies from game to game, but overall solid gameplay. Every game in the series never has like bad gameplay from what I've seen. I can't really say for some of them, like Birth by Sleep. I have heard that Birth by Sleep kind of has mediocre bad gameplay, but I'm not really sure for myself. I have to experience the game after I finish KH2, which I'm only at the Land of the Dragons right now. I have to finish KH2. After that, I'll probably go to Birth by Sleep. But yeah, I think the combat in general, as a whole entire scope of the whole franchise, is solid. Each entry just has some really great combat, and I like how you can see the evolution. Like with KH1, combat wasn't really aerial focused, it was more of a mix of ground and air, but I think KH2 really stepped it up just by having reaction commands like reversal, or having aerial payback. That wasn't in the first game at all, but just solid stuff. I think many other games should take inspiration from the combat of Kingdom Hearts. For example, Sonic Frontiers, its combat left a little bit to be desired, and I think KH has a really good combat system that it could take inspiration from. But this is not about Sonic, this is about Kingdom Hearts. So Kingdom Hearts combat, I absolutely love it, and let's just move on. Characters. Kingdom Hearts characters are pretty great. I think my favorite character is definitely Aqua, and I say this even though I didn't play Birth by Sleep, but just her design alone, it looks really cool. Probably one of my favorite designs in the series, and I've seen footage of Aqua doing stuff in the game, so there's that, I guess, but I haven't actually played as Aqua, but she's pretty cool. And second favorite character, maybe Roxas, because he has like a really sad backstory, because this whole time he thinks, oh, I'm probably a whole person, but nope, he's a part of Sora, and he can't really be his own entity or anything like that, unfortunately. So just his narrative in KH2 was sad, because literally everything he does, everything around him is just all Sora. So just a sad story for Roxas. Poor guy. And narrative. This is probably the most famous part for Kingdom Hearts. People are like, oh, Kingdom Hearts is complicated. I personally don't find Kingdom Hearts to be complicated all that much, honestly. I think it's just a matter of there's a lot to remember. But it can definitely get complicated. Like, let's say you have normal Riku and... No, that's not a good comparison. Like, let's say you just have two images of Ansem. One of those images has to be Riku in KH2, and yes, I've had spoilers for KH2, unfortunately, but I don't really care. That's besides the point. One of those images is probably going to be Riku in his Ansem form when he accepted the darkness in KH1, and then the other form is just regular old Ansem. And yeah, and now that I think about it, I think Ansem, the Ansem guy in Twilight Town, I think that was actually Riku, based on what I've seen. That's besides the point. Story. So, and then people are like, oh, why does Roxas look like Ventus instead of Sora? And the explanation is also pretty simple. Basically, back when Sora stabbed himself with that Keyblade that the Riku Ansem thing was wielding, he let out both, I think, both his heart and Kairi's heart. So once he turned into a Heartless, like Jens had explained back in Castle Oblivion, it left an empty shell. And because Sora's heart is strong, the shell obviously became a nobody, And I think Kyrie's heart is also strong too, so that's why we have Roxas for Sora and Naminé for Kyrie. But as for why Roxas especially looks like Ventus, it's because Ventus' heart was also within Sora. So I think when Sora took out his heart, he also kind of released Ventus' heart. I'm misremembering. Someone in the comments probably gonna explain, but so there's a bit of complexity in Kingdom Hearts. There's a little bit, but it's just a lot to remember. And there's also just the fact that like everybody's kind of Sora. You have Roxas, Xion, freaking Data Sora, and just there's too many to even mention in this one video, but there's just a lot of Soras. And yeah, I think the story is nice. I think KH1 definitely had a pretty simple narrative. KH2 exemplified it quite a bit, and then the games between that filled in the gap between KH2 and KH3, they really complicated the story quite a bit. But yeah, I think Kingdom Hearts on a narrative perspective isn't very complicated. Oh yeah, characters. I forgot this game had Disney Square Enix characters for a second. Donald and Goofy. They're cool, I guess. I don't know what to say about them. But yeah, people often said that Donald doesn't really heal in KH1, but I didn't find that to be the case. Probably because I set him to heal frequently. So if I was a low HP and Goofy was had like a decent amount of HP, Donald would like automatically heal me, not Goofy, because Goofy doesn't need it. But yeah, I don't really get that complaint that, oh, Donald doesn't heal, because I mean, you have the settings. You can just turn to frequently heal instead of moderately or conservatively or whatever setting. And then, you know, I think the Disney characters, they're all pretty well involved in like each of the games. I like their roles. The roles really do fit them. For the Square Enix characters, such as Cloud, Leon, Yuffie, and all of them, also great roles. You know, Cloud especially. Cloud looks cool. I like his cage design. People are like, the bandages are kind of dumb, but they just look cool, I guess. I like to think of him as like Zangetsu from Bleach. He also has bandages when the sword isn't really out, but when the sword is released, the bandages come off and all that. Well, they're technically not really bandages. I don't know, but it's a similar idea to Zangetsu. Both big swords, both have wrappings around the sword, blah blah blah. But yeah, that's story and characters and all that. As for how I would rank the series in relation to like other franchises that I like, such as Zelda, probably a close second. It might actually dethrone Sonic, which honestly isn't really surprising, but yeah, I think Kingdom Hearts might kind of dethrone Sonic. There's just too many good qualities to pass up, to just ignore and all that. But yeah, I just did this video mostly because people don't really know about my other interests besides Zelda, Sonic, and formerly Guilty Gear and other, and again, formerly other fighting games. But yeah, I do have more interests in just those two franchises, and I just never really talked about them until now. So if you guys want to see more of these type of videos where I talk about a franchise that I don't really talk about very often, feel free to comment and say, oh, I want more videos like this, and blah blah blah. But I think that has to do it. I'm surprised I talked for like 14 minutes according to this recording, but here we are. I'm thirsty. So, goodbye. Ciao. Everything. See ya.